All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Hey, it is a Friday, Monday, and we're never normally here on a Friday, but it's Friday, and we're here today, and it is, 9:08 p.m. Eastern on Friday, November 21st. 2025. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. Hey, please do your part if you could. If you would be so kind to please share the show with everyone you know and help spread the word. Give us that thumb. If you could hit that thumb, we would very greatly appreciate it. That would be fantastic. You know what to do. If you're on a platform like Facebook or X that doesn't have a thumb, that's fine. Just share the show a little bit harder. That's what you could do. That would be great. Hit copy, share, link, whatever you got to do, and spread the word. Hey, we're going to be talking about something important for everybody. Hopefully, it's a political show tonight. It's always a political show tonight. What are you talking about? This is the Political Spotlight, the only place for the most amazing commentary and political commentary on local, state, and sometimes national politics right here. Hey, yeah, we're going to be talking about politics tonight, and it's going to be politics that I truly feel this issue is a problem everywhere. I truly believe that this is an issue everywhere. Everywhere is dealing with this in some way or form or another. Right now, Muncie and Delaware counties not doing too bad in this area, but we do from time to time have issues here, and periodically it'll just creep up and bite us, and we have to deal with it. Not too long ago, we had an issue, and I had to quick get into action, but Winchester has problems with this. Randolph County has problems with this. Jay County, Portland, Newcastle, Winchester, Marion County, Indianapolis. State has problems with this. Nationally, we have problems with this. We definitely have issues in Anderson and Madison County. Tonight is going to be a night where we are looking mostly at what's going on in Madison County, a little bit of Anderson. This evening, we've got some things, but we're going to talk about some stuff in Randolph County this evening that kind of goes along with it. So when you're listening to the meat of the show, you might hear us talking about specific entities, specific places. But if you're not from that place, you can remove the area or the specific meeting and apply it to your neck of the woods. Even if you don't live in Indiana, I'm sure that you're running into this problem. We're going to be talking about public access issues. We're going to be talking about public access issues, open door law issues, and issues with that. We're going to be talking about transparency or lack thereof, accountability or lack thereof, communication or a lack thereof, which really, if you get down to it, is kind of like the basis of every night. It's everything that we talk about, but we're specifically going to be talking about these issues. We're going to have a guest on here. No, it's not even a guest. It's the contributing correspondent. We're going to have that on here in just a few moments. But before we get there, I do have to cover some... It's breaking news. It's not breaking news because most people are probably aware of it at this point. This was released at... let me see here. This was released at 4:30. It was released at 4:30 on Friday. So maybe you know about this. Maybe you don't. I'm not 100% sure if you would or not. So we'll go ahead and title this breaking news and see what you think about this. I'm going to put this up here on the screen. We'll read from this, and then we'll get through this and we'll get our guest on. So for those of you in the city of Muncie, for those of you directly in Muncie, we have an immediate release from the Muncie mayor's office. communications director, for immediate release November 21st, 2025. In case you were worried that we did not have enough apartments already being built, in case you were worried that Muncie was going to be running out of apartments, the Dan Bidenauer administration wants to announce to you, I can't hardly even say it, 98. Where are they getting these people from? Where are we getting these people from? 98 new apartments to be built along the Cardinal Greenway, and it takes the next step forward. The state of Indiana has announced that the city of Muncie is one of only 5 communities statewide selected to receive estate tax credits through the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority, the IHCDA program. Muncie's winning application includes the crossing at Trail's Edge, a 4-story, 98-unit senior apartment community to be constructed at 610 East Weiser Street in Muncie, overlooking the amazingly beautiful Cardinal Greenway, Indiana's longest rail trail at 62 miles. The development will replace the current McGuff roofing site, which will be demolished to prepare the property for construction. The $24.8 million project, led by TWG Development of Indianapolis, will be located adjacent to the Cardinal Greenway headquarters. The city selected this site strategically as the development will enhance the nearly completed Columbus Avenue rebuild and complement nearby trail access, brewery destinations, and new townhomes on Walnut Street. Muncie was the only project selected in the Northeast region, which includes Fort Wayne. That's a weird statement. Just a weird little factoid they threw in there for no real reason. We won, but Fort Wayne didn't. The state recently transitioned. Oh, we are transitioning. We're transitioning from a city of houses to a city of apartments. You get it? This is interesting. This must be part of Dan's transition from a conservative Republican to a liberal Democrat, because he's now Dan Bidenauer. We are transitioning as a city of homes to a city of apartments. Very, very strange. The state recently transitioned to a regional selection process, dividing Indiana into 5 regions. Who would have thought? Northeast, Northwest, Central, Southeast, Southwest. Other approved applications came from Indianapolis, South Bend, Clarksville, and Evansville. This was a very competitive process, and we are excited that Muncie was selected by the state. Development along the trail has been a goal of this administration. We see the crossing at Trail's Edge to be another step toward positive movement for McKinley, Gilbert, East Central, and Whiteley neighborhoods, said Mayor Ridenauer. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. More apartments coming. Now, I do want to show you what these apartments will be slated to look like. What a beautiful rendering of this apartment. Here's Stumblefoot and his wife walking as they're older, walking into this building. I'm up here by the door getting ready to either take a crap or we'll go through the door, but it looks like I'm bent over. I'm sure they added us to this. So I'm so excited for these apartments. We'll be able to live in these old folks home apartments together and overlook the Cardinal Greenway. So breaking news from the city of Muncie, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to say, you heard it here. You've probably all already seen it all over Facebook, but I bet they're super affordable. Yeah, time will tell. Time will tell. So that's that. The only other thing I want to say before we get moving on here with the rest of the show is apparently if you live in Randolph County, you might specific. I guess it's not if you live in Randolph County. If you plan to die and have your funeral service in Randolph County, specifically at a funeral home in Parker, but I guess it's probably a pretty good idea. Hell, forget Randolph County. If you have prepaid for your funeral service arrangements, you might want to give a call to that funeral home, that funeral director, and just double check and make sure everything's okay. Because Randolph County Sheriff's Department released a press release yesterday. It says Randolph County Sheriff's Department. The Randolph County Sheriff's Department is currently investigating multiple reports involving Wilson Shook funeral homes. Information has come to light indicating that large amounts of money paid by citizens for prepaid funeral arrangements were not placed into the required funeral plan trust accounts. These funds are intended to be held in a trust for future funeral services. In most cases, these trust accounts are set up through Master Choice. Over the past 2 days, the office has received several complaints from individuals who paid substantial sums to Wilson Shook funeral homes for prepaid funeral plans, only to discover that no trust fund existed in their name. You want to talk about, let me tell you something. They had multiple locations, which included Union City there as well. Okay, Mama, that's a big story. Okay. I'm just going to tell you something. My grandparents had the ability. Thank God they had the ability. It was a blessing, and the wherewithal to go in and do this for themselves many years ago. And they talked their kids, my dad, my uncle, my aunt. They talked them into doing this. And I'll tell you, you don't really think about it, but in the hardest time in your life, the death of a loved one, to not have to worry about this and to not have to struggle with this is such a blessing. When my dad passed away, that my dad was not married and that he was an adult, the next of the eldest son is the I don't know, person of whatever. So we went in. I went in. My mother was not married to my father, but it was an ex-wife, but she's my mom, and they were still close. My mom went in with me. My ex-wife at the time we were married went in. My brother went in, and my grandpa went with me. We all went in together, and everything was done. Like, we just had to go in, sign a couple things, and boom, bang, pow. It was already done. And just, that's such a blessing, because that was something that I would not have wanted to worry about in that time. And I understand not everybody has that ability, but if you have done that, and especially if it's something that you've done a while back, it's not a bad idea to maybe call and just verify, hey, everything okay there? You've not ripped me off, have you? And make sure you go in, you get your paperwork, you get copies of your paperwork. So that's something I would definitely check. The press release goes on to say that they are asking any Randolph County resident who believes that they may be a victim of this situation to contact the Randolph County Sheriff's Department or their local law enforcement agency. Do not dial 911 to make this report. That does not make sense. Please don't ever dial 911 to make a simple report. You call the non-emergency line. Specifically in Randolph County, the non-emergency line is 765-584-1721. The investigators are actively gathering information and will continue working to determine the scope of this issue. Very crazy deal, man. I'm telling you what, that's what I was going to say. If I was in a situation where I was dealing with the death of a loved one and I went in there and I found this out, needless to say, I'd probably need to be bailed out of jail. So just FYI. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring up our special ed, or no, not special. Our special guest, sorry, our contributing correspondent.
I do not need special ed. I took the big, long yellow bus when I went to school. Okay? I just want you to know that.
Hey,
I got to tell you something.
Hold on real quick. Stumblefoot. Yeah, that's probably possible. Before I moved from Randolph County, there was another funeral home over there where the guy was literally taking like gold rings off of people and things like that, and doing some real crazy stuff for over a pain pill addiction. And they got that guy's ass busted too. But yeah, that crap happens. Okay, go ahead, Doc.
I just got to tell you something. I just think everybody wants to be like Madison County. We
special edition
did it first over here with our funeral homes.
Yes,
a few weeks ago. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Wow, that is true.
Everybody
you did
wants to be like Madison County. I just don't understand. I just wish more people wanted to be more like me.
Yeah. Yes. K Blue, a Freudian slip. Absolutely.
For all of you people who are watching from Delaware County, I do therapy in my office, and I just want you to know that I had a patient in the other day who's been a Madison County resident for a lifetime, and she told me, look at Madison County. We have nothing to show for our money. We have nothing. We're not growing. We have nothing to show for it.
You mean you're not getting hundreds and hundreds of apartments by the month?
No, wait a minute. It gets better. Wait for it. She says to me, if only we could have a mayor like Ridenour who's done all
that's hilarious
stuff in Muncie. Now, I just wanted to pat myself on the back because I was like, yes, I know who that is.
That's hilarious. Right?
So I was in the know.
That's funny.
I thought the next time I'm on your show, this was just like 2 days ago, I thought I'm going to bring this up because, listen, we're salivating over here.
She must not have a camping site at Prairie Creek. Those are the people that are mad right now.
I think somebody said in here, I think maybe the water in Madison County is getting to everybody's head. That could be.
Yeah.
So lots going on over here in Madison County. I don't know if I could do 50 shows going on over here. But before we get started, and I do not want to forget, you have your Kate, who is a gem, and you can't live without her. And I can't either. And then I have my Nicole, and she has put a lot of work into some of the things we're going to share tonight. So I just want to give a huge shout out to Nicole.
A big shout out. Listen, I called Nicole. I was heading back from Newcastle, and I called Nicole and I said, "Hey, we're looking for something. We're looking for 2 videos. Can you point me in the right?" I got to be honest. If I know Nicole's watching, I'm going to be honest. I did not want to look for them. I had no desire to look for them. I didn't even want to try it. So, but I called and I was like, "Yeah, hey, I'm getting ready to look for these videos. If you could just kind of point me in the right direction," hoping that she would be like, "Oh, I could do that really easy."
Listen,
and she
Nicole's got your number. She knows how when you're like me. I'll call, make an idea, and she's like, "I already know what you need me to do."
Yeah. She's like,
she's on top of it. She knows
said I could do it easier. She's like, I could probably do it easier than you. And I was like, I am sure you could. Now, in all fairness, I was driving, so I wasn't going to be able to do it. It was going to take me a minute to get home. I would have helped her if she would have told me, but
by the time you got home, she probably already had it done.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, she'd sent one of them.
Slicker than Snot when it comes to getting things done. She's quick.
Yeah. So that's that. And I don't want to get sidetracked in this because we'll go ahead and get into the Madison County stuff. I do want to also offer, just to make sure, because I mean, today's been a pretty big breaking news day, and it's going to be like this now for the next. We're gonna go. Then we're gonna hit hard for the holidays. It'll be like a 2-week break. We're still gonna be here on and off. But it'll be like a lull where nothing's going on really, and then we'll hit real hard coming back in January. But today, there's been a lot of stuff going on down at the State House. We're up to 5 or 6 state officials have been swatted. And I hate Governor Braun as a politician. I don't hate him as a person. I just don't like him as a politician. I don't want him to be the governor. He's horrible. I do not want anything bad to happen to him. I don't want any kind of ill will or whatever. And something's happened with him and his family. There's like 5 or 6 state General Assembly people that have now been swatted. Swatting is very dangerous. What they're hoping in this case is that, listen, if all of a sudden, just like the case in Whitestown, if I'm laying here in this night and all of a sudden I get a bunch of people crashing in my doors, I'm picking up a gun, and the chances of me getting shot by a police officer getting shot, that's what these people doing this are hoping, is they're hoping they can cause chaos. So it's a very, 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 very dangerous situation. And now they're up to like 5 of these people being swatted. I hope they catch who's behind it, and I don't think it's good. Whoever is behind this needs to be brought to justice, and I hope they put a stop to this soon. So that's been crazy going on. But the only other big thing,
one person.
It seems as if it seems weird that it's happening the way it's happening. So it feels like to me that it's like maybe not one person, but it's like a group, an entity. So that's kind of what I feel like. That's just my
now. Just a random question here. Those new apartments you guys are getting. Does anybody know how much the rent's going to be?
Not yet, and it's only going to be for old folks. So it's going to this specifically.
Well,
it's going to be
an
old folks home.
Check your Social Security check, and they'll make that match your rent.
No, Jack, they're not. It's no warrants. No one's actually getting a warrant. The police are just going. It's just the swatting. You know what that people, that's happened to Tim Pool and a couple of other commentators and things. This has been around for a long time, but it's just they're now starting happening to some elected officials because we're dealing with a very partisan political thing where it's very volatile right now. The Republicans and Democrats are mad at each other. Republicans are mad at other Republicans. It's just total chaos. But what I do want to get this out of here, and then we can get into it. Just for those that haven't heard, the initial hearing took place this morning, Friday, November 21st, I think at 8 a.m., 8:30, concerning Kurt D. Anderson, the 62-year-old resident from Whitestown who is accused of fatally shooting Maria Florinda Rose Perez de Velasquez, the 32-year-old cleaning worker from Guatemala living in Indianapolis. The incident occurred in the early morning hours of 6:50 a.m. on Wednesday, November 5th, 2025, when she and her husband arrived at the porch, mistakenly believing they had reached a different residence there to clean. During the initial hearing, a Boone County judge set Anderson's bond at $25,000 cash or $2,500 surety. Prosecutors had requested Anderson bond be set at $50,000, but his defense argued that Anderson posed a minimal flight risk. With no prior criminal history, he had previously served 26 years in the Navy. The judge set Anderson's trial to begin March 30th, 2026. However, that date will not stand. It will definitely change. Anderson was asked to surrender his passport, which he did willingly to the prosecution. And when he posts bond, he will be subject to GPS monitoring. He will not be on home detention. He can go wherever he wants. He will just have a GPS monitor on him. So he doesn't have to call. He can be out in the public doing whatever he wants to do. He's not on home detention. He just will have GPS monitor. Maybe they should have done that to Steve Sumner. Anderson was arrested and formally charged with voluntary manslaughter 12 days after the incident occurred. The case has drawn attention of people worldwide and will closely be followed as it involves hot button topics such as Indiana's Stand Your Ground law, the Castle Doctrine. It deals with Second Amendment issues, yada, yada, yada. He was also asked to give up, or not asked, but he was forced to give up, which I kind of have issue with, but I understand all of his weapons. Any other weapons? He didn't have any other weapons, so I don't know why they would say this, because he only had one other gun. He only had one gun, so this was placed in the order, but it wasn't like he had anything else to give up. But they did put the order on him that he cannot be in possession of any other handguns, which I kind of have a problem with, because he's innocent until proven guilty, and he's not a felon at this point. If you get arrested for OWI felony, until you are convicted, you are not a felon, so you're allowed to possess at that point. But that's another show, another argument. That did happen. And then the last thing, the thing that we've been following here for a while, Randolph County Circuit Court Judge, Randolph County Superior Court Judge, Dale Arnett, has been removed or is forced to resign from the bench, and he will be permanently banned from serving as a judge again in the future. He was found to have committed several judicial misconduct through a long pattern of mismanagement, delay, and dereliction of his judicial duties. The Supreme Court has ruled that he must resign and face permanent ban from judicial misconduct for judicial misconduct. He was found to have committed those issues I said, and the Indiana Supreme Court ruled this today. One allegation, Arnett was accused of getting 10 criminal cases dismissed because the judge didn't act in time. In another case, a man was held for 227 days without ever getting an initial hearing. In another, Arnett allegedly delayed a child exploitation trial by more than a year by failing to schedule hearings. I like Dale. I've always liked Dale as a human. I like Dale as a man, as a person who thinks. I honestly don't understand fully what's going on here. I know that there were some issues with the court staff he had and whatnot, but I mean, there's definitely some serious issues here. So it sounds like maybe the right thing happened. He needs to go live his life, relax. If he wants, he can still practice law. His license has not been removed. He just cannot be a judge. So go take a couple cases a year, relax, farm.
Now, if this judge can't run his courtroom, you think you want to hire him as an attorney?
You know, he's had listen, I got to be honest. He's done well as an attorney for the last several years. I mean, he's not dreadfully old. How old would you say he is, Kate? I don't know if she's listening. How old do you say Arnett is? Maybe 60? I was going to say between 65 and 70.
Well, maybe he needs a dementia test or something. I don't know.
But I tell you, talking to him, he does not
present that way.
He does not present that way, but you never truly know. I mean, you know, I talk to him in short bursts. You know what I mean? Sure. I don't know if he's dealing with some. I mean, you know what I mean? And Dale, I'm not trying to dog you if you're out there. I don't know what you're like at night. Maybe you're a raving lunatic. I don't know. I would assume that you're not, but that's just my assumption. So, okay, enough of that. We're now we got all that stuff out.
I would like to talk about the big announcement in well, it's not really Madison County. It's for the city of Anderson. For any of you Madison County people who are watching tonight, perhaps you live in District 5 in Anderson. There's been a resignation. Lance Stevenson is going to vacate his seat. He is a Democrat. So for those of you, most of you are very political savvy, not here to insult any of you. That seat will have to be filled with a fellow Democrat. So that's the latest news. This came in late last night. There is some word that maybe it might be one of his relations that might be taking.
No. I'm not. See, I don't, because we were talking about this. I don't like that. They can apply, but they still got to go through the caucus process.
Now, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Lapel last night at the council. Mm-hmm. You need to let me finish.
Mm-hmm. I need to see that. Go ahead.
So, yeah, you need to see that. That was something else. So, but the only reason why I say this is there is some word that could be. It could possibly be Treva Bostic. There's some couple people that it could potentially be. The reason why I say this, and Christopher's right, people should be able to apply, people should be able to do this. But the problem in Madison County, when Democrats and Republicans do not file for PCs, PC seats, precinct committeemen, are very critical seats. These are seats that you only run for in the primary. Their thinking is you run for the primary, you win that, you'll help whoever your candidate is in the fall to win their seat in your areas. So what's happened is the Democrat Party does not have a lot of seats filled that people ran by election.
No, yeah, no.
So this means if Kristopher is the chair of the Democrat Party, and those seats are empty, Chris can assign his people into those seats. Doesn't matter if they live in that district or not.
Yeah.
He can assign them in those seats and appoint them, and they can vote for who they want. Now, with this being a district seat in Anderson, that's only a small group of the PCs.
Yeah.
So it's in a county-wide seat that's open where all of them come. But this is why it's so important that so many people run for those seats. Listen, running for election is free. These PCs, there's over 100 and some seats for these PCs. They need to be filled. And so last race in 24, that's when we were running around and we held all those PC seats of people to apply all the way till the very last day within the 12th hour. And we walked in there with 80 seats. And that's why we had so many challenges last year, because Russ was doing everything in his power to make sure seats were vacated. People couldn't run. He wanted to make any reason he could to say that these people were in good standing. So I encourage people to run for those PC seats. It's a very, very important seat.
For people that want to get involved, for people that want to get involved in politics, maybe you're not ready to run for commissioner and make it a full-time gig and leave your job, or you can't do, that's not an option or whatever, but you want to get involved. Or maybe you're somebody that wants to down the road run for commissioner, run for mayor, run for council, run for whatever. This is a good way to get in, to get your feet wet, to do something that's it's at the exact same time. PC, a precinct committee person, precinct committee member. If we were back in the good old days, I'd just say precinct committeeman. Maybe that's never mind. Never mind. Anyways, these seats are the most important, and at the same time, the least important position, or maybe looking at it the other way. It's the least important and the most important. So it's something that you don't have to put a whole lot of time and effort into, except for around election time So for a 3-year stretch, like for the next 3 years, starting in 2026, you'll be busy leading up to the May election. Then you're done. Then starting in about August, you'll be busy, starting in about February to May, you're busy. Then you're done. Then in August to November, you're busy, and then you're done. And then in 2027, the same thing will happen. And 2028, the same thing will happen. And then you're off in 2029. And it's pretty simple. But then the most important aspect that it does is something like this. If an elected official in your county that's not a judge gets appointed by the governor, but every other elected position, sheriff, prosecutor, city council, county commissioner, whatever it is, clerk, any of the other county people, if they, God forbid, if they die in office, if they get found guilty of a felony, if they move, or if they resign, the PC people from that party in that area, if it's countywide, it's all of them. If it's a district, it's just the people from that district. They will vote. And now in this race, in this specific seat, with it being District 5 in Anderson, you're talking maybe as few as 3 or 4 precinct committee people will decide.
Correct. And the thing, people, I want you to understand is, who will be starting the first speculation? Stumblefoot asked that, or conspiracy of why Lance is retiring, or I don't know, retiring or what. I do know that he was not real eager about running this time. but he is a popular name, so they did want to do that. Joe Black, can we get Catherine a gavel?
It's the other way around, Joe. It's the other
No,
way
it's
around.
not. It's not. You keep
No.
interrupting me.
No, it's the other way around.
He thinks he's Ben Gale.
Yes. No, I don't think I'm Ben Gale. I think I'm
You have too much
Kristopher
hair.
Bilbrey.
So, okay. So the other question that somebody asked, Kristopher, is this is a municipality race.
Yeah.
This seat will not run. It will go. So they're halfway through. So for whatever reason, Lance decided he's going to leave effective January 1. I don't know why, because he's missed several meetings. He's missed like 4, right? But this seat is still good for 26 and 27. No, so in 27, that seat would begin to run for 28. So you'd still have 2 years in there if you're somebody.
Whoever takes over this seat will fill out. Will start in the January meeting, and hopefully they'll have it ready, and their way the people of District 5 won't have just no one on the council still. They would take over in January, and they would be the counselor for all of 2026. They'll be the counselor for all of 2027. However, if they are interested in continuing to hold that seat in 2027, they would have to file for technically re-election to that seat. And then they would have to run in the May primary, and then if they win, in the November election. And that's how they would do. And then if they won, their official term that they win would start in January of 2028. So, you get 2 whole years behind this seat.
And it will be real interesting on how they do this caucus, because they meet the second Thursday. So now that they know this, will they have a caucus right after January 1 and be able to get that person in by January?
I can't recall. They should be able to have the caucus ahead of time.
Well, and so this is going to be a real interesting show to watch on how they're going to caucus, how they're going to announce this, what they're going to do. I will say I'm very proud of the community, because within a short amount of time of this being put out there, the people really got this notification out there. And usually this is something that's hidden in Madison County. A caucus quietly takes place, and before anybody knows anything, it's all said and done, which I think technically it's already all said and done. But
I want to read this just really quickly for those that can't see it. And as Catherine said, and it's really it's not confusing. It's really bad, because not only was Lance, a popular name on the council, he'd been there for a while, but he's not been there for the last 4 or 5 meetings, and he's the council president. That's really, really bad.
Yeah,
because that means they've had to have the vice chair, the vice president step up and do the work.
And let's talk about that for a minute, because this is what's so interesting. Only in Madison County do we put everything on full display, right? So we watched the county election board where the Republican GOP, Russ Willis, had to come out of his spot because he was the one that was really on trial. And he put a Democrat GOP chair into his seat to represent the Republican Party. So that was the strangest thing you've ever seen. I'm going to say Lance knew he was leaving a long time ago. Jennifer Culp has been the pro tem president.
Yeah.
And she's Republican.
Yeah.
And she's wanted to be president for a long time. She does not know how to behave or treat the public.
No, she's horrible.
She has tantrums. She has meltdowns. She walks out of meetings. She gets up from her chair and has a hissy fit. And she's the one that really wants to be the president. And so this is going to be interesting to watch, because we have a Democrat mayor. Are they really going to give the Republicans the power? And I actually think on this council, there's 9 of them.
Yeah, there is. There's 9 in the council. What's the majority?
Democrats.
Okay, yeah. Then she won't have
that seat. This will be interesting to watch.
The Republican won't get. What do you mean? The Republican won't get the seat? What are you talking about?
They vote.
No, you mean if they give the Republican the presidency.
Yes.
Not the seat. The Democrats get to vote the
No,
seat.
I'm just talking about to be the president over.
Well, they'll vote, and if there's more Democrats than there are Republicans, then the Democrat will win the seat.
But that's what's going to be
unless they cross
interesting to watch,
lines.
because Jennifer really wants the seat.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay,
And
so this
it's
says
a uniparty.
This says November 21st, 2025, to the citizens of Anderson, city and citizens of Anderson, I write to inform you of my resignation from the Anderson City Common Council, effective January 1st, 2026. It has been an absolute honor to serve this tremendous community for the last 10 years, and I believe we as a council and community have accomplished so much in this time. I always worked alongside the administration and was always bipartisan in my decision-making process. I feel I communicated quickly and effectively with my constituents and tried to be open-minded with all topics from the concern of citizens of Anderson. It has been my pleasure to work with all of my fellow councilors, and I cannot thank the people of Anderson enough for giving me this opportunity to serve you. I will always support and serve the great city of Anderson. I wish my successor the best, and my door will always be open with any questions or concerns. Thank you, Anderson, with all of my heart, and God bless. Lance T. Stevenson, President, District 5, Anderson City Council.
And I just want people to understand, I like Lance Stevenson. I don't have any beef with him, but there's a lot of speculation going on that Lance has private companies, and a lot of those companies have done a lot of side business or business. I don't know what this, I don't know, but I just, as Stumblefoot brought it up, there's a lot of conspiracy theories about all of this. Somebody would have to go through and look at all that. So I like Lance.
Yes.
I wish him well. I want people to know that seat's open, and I want everybody to know you're just as important as somebody who's in their club. So run for it if you want it. Caucus in if you live in District 5. Try at least and do your thing. So that's yeah, and I think this has been brewing for some time. Carrie McFadden said the same thing. I think it's been brewing for a minute. So it's interesting to watch all of this, and it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the time comes out. So the other thing,
the only thing that frustrates me with that is then I wish he would have went ahead and just stepped down. Don't just run it out like that. To me, that's really bothersome. What that does is that taints whatever good stuff that he's done. It taints the fact that because he's decided to just bow out for the last 4 or 5 months, but yet he's still taking a check. That's, to me, that makes you slimy. Whatever you've done in the in the past, great, wonderful. But you also decided to take 4 or 5 months, and I guarantee you, I mean, what will he be there in December? Will he not be there in December? You know, what's going to happen? So will that be another meeting that he misses and gets paid? I just am not a big fan of that. If he should have either been there, or he should have not taken a check, or he should have quit when he knew he was done. Not done this crap.
He's missed a fair amount. And it will be interesting to see if he shows up in the December meeting.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't, then he should have just resigned now and been done with it.
Right. But I could see him also going in December so they could give him a plaque and he could get a round of applause, and, you know, everybody could talk about how great he is and how wonderful he's been and whatever. So I can see both sides of that.
Can we put this up real quick? This was just messaged to me. I think it's important.
Send it to me.
I just sent it to you in Messenger. If people could share this, I just posted it on my Facebook because it just came in, and I kind of think that's important to see. It's about the lottery. What? And it looks like a winning ticket was sold in Lapel.
No way.
So I'm just sharing that. Good luck to whoever that involved. But I wanted to make sure that was shared to everybody.
The Hoosier Lottery says the winning cash 5 ticket worth $341,000 correctly matched all 5 numbers in Thursday night's drawing for $341,000. Winning cash 5 jackpot ticket sold in Lapel.
I know that's a little off topic, but that's kind of an important big deal.
If any of you bastards out there won this,
collect it or something, but I just
Listen,
wanted to share that.
if you win this, don't post it on Facebook. Don't jump up and down and be an idiot. You can't do anything now. Call an attorney first thing tomorrow and have the attorney contact and just shut up and go away with your money. Don't tell anybody.
Right?
That's what I would do. You know what I would do if I won $500,000 or $1 million? I would come on here tomorrow and I would do this show. Nobody would know. There would be signs.
And on a sad note, Lapel lost tonight in the semi-state. I just got word on that.
Oh yeah, that sounds.
So that was sad, but they did a good job, and good luck to them. And anyways, now let's go on to the election board meeting. If you have not watched that, it's pinned at the top of my page. It is worth the watch. It is the most disgusting behavior I have yet to see from an election board. Now you've seen a lot more than I have.
I feel like I mean, even out of Madison County, you're one of those people that it's just every meeting after is the worst, just because it's totally all nonsense. I'll be honest, this wasn't as bad. I have a lot of problems with this, but it's just par for the course in Madison County. It's just more of the same bullshit with the way that they behind the microphones.
And that's intentional because everybody does it in every single meeting. Yeah, it is intentional that they do this.
Yeah, it's so insane. It's so insane that they do this nonsense. Just time after time after time after time. It's gross. It's stupid.
So, I want everybody to understand that Michelle Daniels has been around Madison County for a long time. She grew up in Marion County politics. She's always been a puppet for the Republican Party. That's what her job is. Her job is to go and get her tentacles into anybody who's new or anybody who they think might be a threat. She'll weasel her way in. She'll try to poison whatever water she can. And then she'll come back and report that all to the group. She is very good at it. Let there be no question to it. She is very good about doing that. She sits on a lot of boards where all they need is a warm body. There doesn't need to be a lot of thought process behind it. And she will do that. She will do anything that is asked of her. And if it's selling her soul, she is willing to do that for you as well. So as long as they can keep power. And so watching her take over on this election board, now we've got Tim Lannon, who he barely wants to speak, and he wants to tell you how he's got this voice problem. Now Michelle wants to tell you how she's got her voice problem. And so at the end of the day,
did she really say that?
Oh yeah. She said that all the way from the beginning, since the time that Kelly Hewer appointed her back in March or whatever. She has said, well, I've had a lot of throat problems and I'm sick and I can't talk and I can't this. And and here's the thing. We got all new microphones in Madison County, everyone, just so you know. And this is how no one thinks in Madison County. So these are little discs that sit towards the front of where they are. If you have a laptop, it makes it really hard for them to pick up sound. And this just goes to show you what they do when they don't have a laptop and how quiet they want to be. So the election board had called a meeting, had all these people with finance issues, and they weren't new. Some of these people were from 2018.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Been rectified.
Hold on really quickly. I have to just say this real quick. They said that if I would win that money, I'd start the show on Sunday with the golden microphone. I would have to steal it from Glenn Beck, because after Limbaugh's death, he became the winner of Limbaugh's golden microphone you see here, which I have a microphone just like that. It's just not gold. It's an Electro Voice microphone. They're great microphones, but yeah, I'd probably kill Glenn Beck for that microphone. I would say that live. So just FYI, I don't need to win that microphone. I just got to find out where Glenn Beck's at. Okay, go on.
You are exactly right. If I could get a fake personality, I probably could win all kinds of votes. But with me, what you see is what you get. That's
Yes,
just
that's
the
what
way it is.
people don't
It's not going
understand.
to change. You should have been at last night's meeting. It was off the chain last night.
Hey, I'll make an announcement. I'm gonna make an announcement here. I don't think I've said this. I am running for an office in next year's election. I
And what
have
would
not
that
told
be?
anybody this. I'm just gonna run for delegate.
Okay.
So I'm gonna run for delegate, which
Why don't you run for
it's not
PC and delegate?
because
no,
it's
Republicans
not
aren't up
Republicans.
next year.
Yeah, Republican. Yeah,
Democrats
it's
are.
out. Yeah, we'll have to wait 4 years, but 3 years now. But I am gonna run for delegate. So
And this is
that's me
another thing,
tipping my
people,
foot
these
back in it.
delegate seats. I don't know about Delaware County, but in Madison County, it's 11 seats per district. We have 3 of them. That means 33 people are chosen.
Yeah.
If only, say, 8 people run in that district, that means the 3 seats that are open can be appointed by the GOP, and that's how they stack the deck. So I really encourage people to run for these seats. And it's funny because in Madison County, Russ Willis ran for delegate. Pete Hewer ran for delegate, and none of those people even won the delegate.
Yeah, right. Isn't that's hilarious
Out of 11,
to me?
you can pick 11 people, and these people don't even make the 11.
Make
That
the
is
top
how
11.
atrocious this is.
Well, that's like Ed Carroll lost to being a delegate.
Yeah.
He lost his PC seat.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, which makes you wonder, honestly, I'm going to say it, which makes you wonder is how much can ballot manipulation? It's a lot harder when you have 11 seats that are running to keep track of who's coming in first, who's coming in second, to keep those 11.
Yeah.
But if it's just a sole person, who's going to win? And I will tell you strategically what they've done in the past. Like Russ wanted to be PC. So he had like 3 other people run for PCs. Well, when you went in, you thought, oh, there's already 4 people. So I don't even have a chance at one PC, right? So I'm not going to put my name in. Well, what he did is in his area, he had like Jerry Alexander and another one of his clowns. And so after that filing date ended, you can withdraw.
Yeah.
So what happened is Jerry automatically withdrew, and this other guy automatically withdrew. That just made Russ the winner.
Yeah.
Right. And so they are there's a lot of strategy and manipulation that goes into this. So don't ever walk in there and give up because you think there's too many people in there. This is all a game that they play, and it's a shell game.
Too many cooks.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we doing here?
So they start. You want to start the meeting?
I guess nobody can hear anything. Now listen, I mean, I don't even know. Like, we're going to play bits and pieces of this because you can't hear a damn thing that goes on. Like, thank you, Eric. This is ridiculous. It's mindless. And honestly, at this point, just don't even live stream these anymore because it's stupid. And the public live streaming them, these people purposefully make it to where you can't hear a damn thing it's saying.
Well, that's because they don't want you to live stream.
You know, well, that's right. You know, a bunch of artists, musicians are coming together. It's either out today or it will be out next Friday. And they are releasing a brand new album of music, like 14 or 15 songs, I believe, from just a collection of different artists. And it's going to be pressed on vinyl. It's going to be on CD. It's going to go out on tape. And it's going to go out on digital download. And I think the name of the CD is like, Is This What You Want? Or Is This the Way That You Want It? And it's a collection of silent songs for like Paul McCartney's written a song that he's put on this album. It's like 3 minutes long, and he plays all the music instruments on it, and he sings. And when you play it, there's no sound. It's 3 minutes, like 42 seconds of silence. And everybody else, they've got titles and everything, and they've got credits and like U2's on it, and all these other people, like rap artists and all this stuff. It's a protest to AI in the music industry, you know, in how it's going. And it's not, they're not against using it, but they're against certain ways of it being used, mainly with copyright. And so, yeah, that's like that's what this is. This is like the live stream silent
we'll have to
meetings.
see if Nicole can make it where she can have all the words come across the bottom of it. She's usually pretty good.
You'd have to be able to hear them. You'd have to be able to. You got to be able to know it.
Yeah.
I've got an audio booster, but the problem is they're talking so damn low,
and it's intentional.
They're talking so low that when you boost it, the room noise and the hiss is so much louder than what they're actually saying. It's you can't listen.
I am up at the Madison County government.
Now this whispering is Rebecca.
We're getting ready to have a election board meeting. There really wasn't an agenda.
So one thing that everybody needs to know during this meeting, they're not going to give you agendas. The attorney even gets up there and says they don't have to give you an agenda. This is Michelle Daniels who's entering. That's Jeff Graham, the county attorney. And then everybody knows.
So it should be starting at 2 o'clock.
Layman there.
One more minute.
Listen to this. Look at that. Look at that big giraffe woman. Now, she should be able to enunciate her words and pack some volume behind. She's 3 of Tim Lannon. He's like such a mouse of a man. Like she's 3 of him. She ought to be able to get her words out there, and you ought to be able to hear her. Listen to what she says when she starts this.
And most of these people are here because they are delinquent on their financials.
They need, how like in sports, how they have a handicap where the person comes up and will bat for you. They don't need sign language because none of us will be able to know what's going on. They need handicapped speakers where they whisper the words and then 3 people in front of them are just projecting it out for everybody else.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
An interpreter.
County building.
Yeah.
Election board meeting should be starting in 1 minute.
We'll fast forward this along here. Listen, this shit started.
I'm sorry, Madam President. Which one is that? I have not.
So I'm looking. So they don't have their regular microphones anymore.
They have little discs down there, and they're
they do.
Better. They're supposed to be better, but
what do you mean little discs? Explain describe these to me.
They're just these little round, like what we set our phones. It's little round things that sit up there in front of each.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up what you're talking about. Keep going. I mean, we'll play this. I don't know what.
Go ahead.
Round disc microphones.
Can you speak in the mic too? Are they not on? You still can't hear.
There we go. Regarding the 12 delinquent candidate committees, 10 have updated and disbanded. 1 has updated and remains open, and 1 is deceased. We are also actively trying to contact his estate, and if there is an estate administrator, they can come in and disband the committee. And if that does not occur, then the board can look to administratively disband it in January. So everybody has come in, everybody has updated, and
Catherine, go to your messenger real quick and look what I just sent you, and tell me if that's what it is.
So just to make sure I understand, Heather, the one that is open is up to date, though they have filed the reports or have not?
yes, yeah.
They have filed the reports?
Yeah.
Okay. And in regards to have they had requests to waive penalties as well? Or do we know that?
A few of them were unable to come to today's meeting and they emailed and requested that from the board. I believe most of everybody else is present here today, so, I'm sure everybody would request that though, but, so that's my report that I have.
I want to give them a chance then, because, okay.
So, looking at faces like this and thinking that-
Now you have to listen to this. I just
Come to the microphone, sir.
now see how loud he was there to say come to the microphone, so they can do it.
It's still not loud enough. What he said, come to the microphone, is not loud enough.
And I didn't know anything about closing anything. I dealt with Mary as we were opening the campaign, and at the end of it, I thought we lost, we were done. Didn't know anything about it until this young lady called me. I came up the next day and got the things done that needed to be done. That's my story.
Are you asking the board then to waive your fees?
Please.
Do we want to do that all at once? Or
I'd say let's do it all at once. I mean, if there's one that stands out, we'll consider it. But
How many did you have? Can you name them or is that?
So we're going to have six.
So they don't tell you the names of who the people are.
You wanna come forward?
You have no idea what's going on.
Name them all. Can you look at them?
I want everybody to listen to this for a second.
This isn't a long
I'm
meeting.
going to pause this. I want you
This
to
is
listen
long
to this. I want you to listen to this. Okay. That's Madison County. Okay. And everybody knows this. I'm just doing this for an example. Just listen to this for a second.
To heart as well and apply it to the administration, because I feel like I'm not the only one that is.
That's a man speaking in the audience. You can clearly hear him. Okay. Not because he's yelling, but because he's speaking into the microphone that works and it's being recorded. Listen. Okay. Here's the council talking.
Is that correct?
No, I think she was instructed to just stamp the old one.
It came to my attention
Okay.
later.
So you
that he-
clearly hear them talking. Okay. Listen to this. Let's go back to this. Listen to this.
And this whole election board needs to be dismantled in Madison County. It is a disgrace. It's not transparent. It's not for the people.
Here's a small do nothing little area. Listen to this.
Inspection using multiple tools.
We had a problem when I first came.
Here,
And it was
the guy down here in the
owner of
corner is
333
talking.
Short Street
Clearly hear him.
dug a fence post right in the middle of our drain.
Dude, that was weird. Kate, are you here? Look at the guy down. Look at the bald head dude right here, down here, seam.
Our gutters goes
I'm
out
gonna play
to
him.
the street.
Right down here in the
And
left-hand
the-
corner.
the-
You
the
know who I
first-
thought that was? I thought that was Rick for a minute.
Listen, you're
That's
being a
scary.
squirrel. Focus on what we're doing.
No, that's big. That's crazy. I thought that was a ghost. But the point
That
is,
totally
look,
seemed-
you can hear these people
And when
talking.
we bought the
You can hear all these people talking.
I thought it was 22
And
million.
they've got
Continue
this little
to,
microphone thing that records the entire room right in front of them. And so there is no reason Madison County
And let me just be honest with
can't
everyone.
pull that off.
It is what the public tolerates. And I will tell
Absolutely.
you, other than Rebecca Crooms, I think Aaron or Nicole have done it once or twice. I sit in these meetings and you hear me over and over and over say, can you speak up? Can you speak up? And I need more than just me to be complaining, because they think it's just Katherine picking on them. Literally, you cannot hear these people. And quite honestly, Christopher, if these people cannot speak up, then they shouldn't serve.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just the bottom line.
Yeah, I look, I feel sorry for you if if you got some kind of problem with your vocal cord or something
And
like
you get
that.
an
But
amplifier, and they go right on your voice box, and you can speak a lot loud. We've got all kinds of devices.
or quit serving. You don't need to be somebody special. You're nobody special sitting here. You don't need this. Go, thank you for your service. have a nice life. It's time for somebody whose
Right.
vocal cords aren't 85 years old or whatever.
You haven't smoked yourself to
Yeah,
death.
right.
It's
Like,
just
yeah,
the
right.
reality. I'm not saying that in a mean way, but
Yeah.
that is the outcome if you choose
Yeah.
to smoke. And the big thing with this is that she believes she is so much smarter than us peasants because she came from Madison or from Marion County. Okay. And Rex Early was her godfather.
Mm-hmm.
So listen to these people. Now, I don't know, because I was watching this in between patients. I didn't really recall people coming up and introducing their names, saying where they live.
Yeah, they do. Well, they're not coming out saying where they live and all that.
But it's hit or miss on the name part. And I just want you to know that when I
I'm
go
pretty
to
sure
Trillium-
they've called. I'm pretty sure. Now, wait a minute.
Well,
So
let's listen to it.
So for the record, you don't have to give your name and address. If you do, that's your fault and your problem.
I agree.
So, but these people have specifically, and this is not the same thing as public comment. These people have been called here to this board. So the
we don't
board,
know who they are. Not
no,
everybody knows who they are.
yeah, I get that. I understand that. I'm just saying that the difference here is the board. So what's happening is the board's calling these people up. So the board says a name and then the person goes up. So I'm assuming when the board calls a name, the person that goes up is that name.
But you can't hear that person.
But I know it's stupid.
2016, we closed the bank account.
In 2016.
Yeah, close the bank account. Is this his bodyguard or what's up?
You need one in Madison County.
Yeah. Looks like she's getting ready to toss somebody out.
Filled that out right away from 2017 all the way to this year. Here we are. And I respectfully ask the waiver of fee.
Who else is here?
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
My name is Richard Brown Jr.
Listen to this guy.
And I ran in 2018. And I thought my treasurer filed the paperwork and he did not. And found out he did not. And I filled it out. Got it caught up, and I'd like to respectfully request that he's waived as well.
Can I ask a question? Have you closed your
Yes, it has been closed.
campaign? Okay.
I have no desire to run for anything ever again.
They ask him if Tim asked him something about what his paperwork is and about ending it or whatever, and if he's considered running again, and he says, I have no desire to run for anything ever again. I mean, he's been like that traumatized by this process.
And here's the thing. Who's really at fault here
Yeah.
is the elected clerk and her people.
Yeah.
I mean, Olivia Pratt
Yeah.
is a nincompoop. I mean, you people, I can't even imagine. I mean, she is like the lights are on, but nobody's home. Anybody who thinks a chewing gum person at the age of 30 who sits in front of the people is professional have lost their mind.
I would rather have Pratt than Smith in the clerk's office.
Yeah, well, you didn't stand.
I don't
in
like-
lines. You didn't stand in lines.
I don't like either one. Well, wait. Now, in
They're
all
both
fairness, yeah, they both are, yeah. But in all fairness, she did conduct a couple of elections without that problem. So, I mean, I blame her for that, but there are also other things at fault. But at the same thing, I think overall, I'll just put it to you this way. She was a hell of a lot easier to deal with than Linda was. I'll say as far as that.
Linda's just a complete moron. I mean, there's no other way. There is nothing smart about Linda Smith.
No, yeah, she's horrible.
And if Linda, you're watching this and you're offended by that, well, then I guess get smarter. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, or
I
quit.
mean, if you don't want people to speak this way, then you need to work for the people and do the right job. I'll say it to her face. It's not like I mean, I don't have any problem
All right,
with it.
Donnie Baker.
Right.
I swear to God, I'll say it to her face. They thought it was funny.
See?
That was perfect.
All Zooms different, late fees different on each one.
Where did you email that to me, Joe?
It all depends on
Recently? I think I saw that. All right, I'm gonna let this go for a second. Keep going, or you can talk, or what? Oh yeah, watch this. Hold on, here we go.
I did not realize there was an annual form to be filled after that meeting. I
My name is Ryan Green. I ran in 2020, and when I filed my 2020 CHA4 form, I accidentally clicked to check the wrong box. When I got the call from Heather, I filled out everything to bring it up to date, and I am requesting to have my fees waived, please.
James Townsend here. James Townsend. William Hutton?
Yes, Catherine, everybody's asking.
William Hutton, and not to repeat a sob story or anything else, but I had a huge distraction in November and December of 2022, and things haven't been the same since. So, but I appreciate you waiting.
Close to your head.
Yes.
Is there Andrew Jones here?
Listen here, man, it's
Who
kind
did
of
you
crazy
say
to
I
have
am?
two actual men come up and be able to enunciate and project their voice, and for everybody to be able to hear them. Catherine's gotten up as a woman, and she's been able to enunciate and project and speak clearly and loudly. It's just crazy that those last two people could get up and say things and everyone could be able to hear them. It's nuts.
Oh, okay, thank you. She need a microphone.
So just fast forward.
I mean,
to-
so yeah, this just keeps going on. This is just
So
nonsense.
They give everybody a free pass. They don't care. There'll be no fines. Go like what you want. Now listen to back up just a little bit on, because what Jeff's going to talk about is, do they have to have agendas, and do they have to let people speak in election boards?
Once we've made the request, we have one that is in calendar, so I'll pass that out. About public comment in regards to the election board.
Now I want you to notice she's a little bit louder here when she
Now,
talks about public comment.
Isn't that interesting? First of all, is that dude prepared for a flood or what?
So
Watch this.
Jeff, I asked, I've had some people question lately about public comment in regards to
Watch this.
election board.
What in the hell we got going on here? Did he accidentally wear his son's pants?
So pause that for just a minute. I want everybody to see this. Your tax dollars are paying an attorney to get up there and defend, to silence us. They are having the attorney speak on behalf of them to say why the public shouldn't be able to comment or why the public shouldn't receive an agenda. I hope everybody understands how this is really different. So go ahead and listen to this.
All right, let's play this.
The open door law, which is 514 1.5-3, as the name would suggest, it means you can have to conduct your meetings so that they can be observed and recorded by members of the public, anybody that likes to come. Doesn't have to just be Madison County citizens. It could be out of town. It could be media. It could be a lot of different things. However, that is not the same as that you are required to have public comment. That's at your discretion. And the reason that is, there's no statute that says that, but it's by negative implication. In your open door law, in subsection D, it talks about that school boards, a governing body of a school corporation or a charter school, the governing body shall allow a member of the public who is physically present at the meeting to provide oral public comment. So if you're a school board or you're a charter school, you must allow public comment at all your meetings. And they do. And I've been to a couple of school board meetings and they they always do that. For all other public meetings, the general rule is that you do not. It's at the discretion of the board whether to allow public comment unless somewhere else in the law, there's a statute that says you must. And you ever have when our county council talks about a new appropriation of new money, that requires a public hearing. When a plan commission has a zoning change, those are public hearings. BZA's, variance requests, things that there's littered throughout our statutes are requirements for public. The town of LaPel tonight is having a public hearing on a water rate change or sewer rate change. Those require that town council to let people talk about that particular issue on that issue to inform the board. Generally, the answer is it's not, and that's the reason why it's by negative implication to the open door.
I talked to Greg King at the state level, director of election, and he told me that, I said, well, why is that? Because, I just wanted to know, like, certain times you can and certain times you can't. And he said, and it made a little sense, he said, because we have to follow the law. There's no, like, should we appropriate money for this and not this? And he says, it's so law. If you had a question, you would turn to your attorney. Like, this is, how should you write a complaint for it? Well, we would ask the public how to do that. We would turn to our attorney, right, and do that. So I know there's situations where people say, why don't you do this or that? And so I was very confused myself until you explained it and until I talked to Brad. So we also talked about an agenda because, we had some things added the last second. He said, well, most election boards don't do an agenda. And I was like, really? He goes, no, because things can turn so quickly on something. So you want to be informative, but then you don't put something out that, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was going to happen. So, it's sort of you don't sort of have to take each maybe individually, whether you have comment or not, or whether you do put out agenda or not. So
You have an option on the agenda, or not. But if you do have one, it has to be posted outside and provided. But those agendas can always be amended by majority vote.
All right, I'm going to pause this for a second. I'm going to talk about a couple of things.
Let me just say one thing. She could fully speak up when she's having a conversation with Jeff, but when the public gets up there,
that's not even. No, I'm not even going to give her. I'm not even going to give her that because that's not speaking up. You still can't hear it. She's an idiot. She's an absolute idiot. I do not.
Brad King.
Yeah. What was that? All right. So listen. I listened to this the other day, and I took the effort to put it in the thing and blow it up. It sounded god-awful. I still listened to it, and I heard this a little bit better than what we're hearing it now. So I'm going to tell you a couple things. What she's talking about in here. So he gets up, and he's talking about the public comment. So I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this to you from the Indiana Public Access Counselor Handbook, and this is based. This was prepared by Luke Britt, and so I take it. This is pretty well done, and I trust Luke Britt on a lot of stuff. And this is no opinion, things like this. This is based off of the law. That's just the bottom line. So again, I want to let me pull this up here real quick. I want to say this right thing.
And I will just say, we're going into 26. Michelle Daniels' only mission is to shut the public down.
It's not just her. It's everybody throughout Madison County, and it's people beyond, honestly. The elected officials doing this. So listen, this is the importance to note about this kind of topic from the Indiana Public Access Counselor Handbook. Do I have a right to speak at an open meeting? The open door law in the state of Indiana does not guarantee the right to speak at a public meeting. Although an individual has the right to attend and observe all public proceedings, no specific statutory authority allows an individual to appear before and address a governing body. A governing body may choose to provide an opportunity for comments or discussion at any time, or may allow a limited number of comments or a limited amount of time for comments on matters under consideration. During certain meetings, provisions for public comment may be required by statute or local ordinance. So, for example, if your city council, county council, town council is talking about new money issues, appropriations, or doing a public hearing, they have to permit public comment. But if the council is having a meeting, commissioners having a meeting, and there's nothing about new money, they do not have to permit comment. Now, at the same time, first off, 90% of them throughout Indiana are going to allow with no problem. They have a comment section and they're going to let you speak, no issue. I also say when they say they do not have a place to speak, it's a catch-22, and it depends on what hill you're prepared to die on and how far you're prepared to push it. Because as I've always stated, you're in a public place, in a public building during business hours at a meeting, or maybe it's not business hours, maybe it's in the evening, but it's when business is being conducted. You're there in your public building that everyone in the city has access to. You're there talking to your publicly elected officials, and you have a First Amendment right to speak. So, it's a catch-22, and so they might have you removed or might have you arrested, and then you've got to decide if you're willing to fight that or not. And that's up to you, and moreover, your wife, or I guess your husband, or whatever, your mom, maybe if you're Katherine. It just depends on if whoever wants who getting arrested or not. So anywho, that's the thing. So you got to be willing to do what you're going to push. Okay. That's very important. Okay. The other thing that you need to understand is that the meeting just can't be set at any time. A meeting has to be set with 48 hours notice. There has to be, and that notice can be as simple as posting it outside the doorway. It's not set for the benefit of the public. It's set for the benefit of the corrupt. That's what it's set for. The other aspect on this, and this is what they were talking about, was the agenda. When can I see a copy of meeting agenda so I will know what the order of the proceedings are? A governing body of a public agency is not required to use an agenda. But if it does use an agenda, the governing body must post a copy of the agenda at the entrance of the location of the meeting prior to the meeting. In addition, the meeting agency must describe each agenda item specifically during the meeting and may not refer solely to an agenda item number. The open door law does not prohibit a public agency from changing or adding to its agenda during the meeting. Okay, so that's important. So under law, they don't have to have an agenda. They can have no agenda. But if they do have the agenda, they have to have it posted. And they can't do this thing where they have an agenda, then don't have an agenda. If you have an agenda, you have an agenda. And if you don't, you don't. And they can change, say, okay, moving forward, we're not going to have any agendas. But all of that stuff, to me, are points to elect or to unelect somebody. If you have councils or you have commissioners or you have appointed boards that don't allow public comment, that don't use agendas, then you need to unelect those people. If those people were not elected, but they were appointed, then you need to unelect the people that appointed them, period.
And that's the thing. Linda Smith's got to go. But listen, I got to give it to Rebecca Crooms. We do need to listen. This meeting's almost over.
Yeah.
Let's listen to Rebecca Crooms when she gets up there.
And then, real quick, Michelle, is her name Michelle?
Michelle Daniels.
Michelle talks about how she talked to, first she calls him Rick, then she calls him Brad King. Brad King is an attorney down at the election board. Brad King and Valerie Warchaw, they're the two attorneys. that are down there, and she's like name dropping that she spoke to Brad, and he's like, "Oh, well, you don't have to do this. You listen." When you call down there, they don't say, "Oh, you don't have to do that. You shouldn't do that." They are very open about saying, "Listen, you don't technically have to do this," but they say, "We would recommend that you do." You don't hear them saying that. They always tell people, "We would recommend that you do this. It would be better that you did this." And they always say, "Well, they say they don't think that we should allow comments so we don't get into back and forth and debates and derail the whole meeting." How many people are in this meeting?
Right?
The only people that are in this meeting, the reason that there are 6 or 7 extra people is because they were called here. You only have 1 or 2 people that's willing to speak. It's not going to derail and turn into a 2 or 3 hour long meeting. That's just not going to happen. So to use that excuse is complete and utter bullshit. Also, having this meeting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon is nonsense. So then Rebecca speaks up and says, "Are you all taking questions?" I love Rebecca.
Right? She does a great job. And we need more people to do this at meetings.
Are you going to have rules where the public can make comments? Like he said, it's up to you guys to do that. And I want to know if you're going to be making a rule whether the public can speak at these meetings when you have them, and whether or not you're going to have agendas. I know he just said you don't have to if you don't want to, but well, I'm concerned about this county, and I would like.
She starts off by talking about what other people do in other counties. Out of 92 counties, and Rebecca says, "Well, I'm concerned about this county." I love it. What a golden answer.
Like to see an agenda, and I would like to see public comment. These are elected positions, and the public, what the attorney did not talk about was about officials on these boards and in these elected positions. You answer to the people. The people have questions about these elections, and just like all these people came up here and some of them said they didn't know about what they were supposed to do after the election. I know my name was on the front page of the paper mistakenly, and they had to retract it about being fined and not finishing up the paperwork, but that was the paper's fault, and I was able to prove that. But I think to say that you're not going to take comments and you're not going to have an agenda would be a disservice to the voters, and the voters need to know that, because I'll be voting on people who want to be more open and more public and get your mics fixed. Now, Tim, I want to thank you. You were very loud and you could hear it, even though you don't feel well. You had a very strong.
I'm tired of that excuse. He's not felt. I mean, I'm worried about him. I'm worried. You know, there's only a couple things that make you not feel well for 2 years. You know, so maybe he needs to go get checked by like a serious doctor, because you shouldn't just feel bad for 2 years straight. That's ridiculous. I'm really concerned. I'm worried about him. You shouldn't just feel bad. You know, you've been meeting every meeting for 12 months. You shouldn't feel bad for the last 12 months, bro. Go get yourself a once over.
Michelle Daniels, if your voice is that light, you get scoped and find out what's going on in your lungs. I mean, or in your larynx. I don't know what to tell you.
Or leave, or just you don't even have. If you look, I don't like going to doctors. If you don't go see a doctor, just get your ass off the board.
Well, listen, these people need to fill these rooms and start demanding that these people resign.
Yeah. You could help, Tim. Kate said.
Voice, Linda, yours is better, but Michelle, yours was not up to what it should be in a public meeting, because you cannot hear you. You have a soft voice. You either need to get a microphone on. The people is who you answer to.
Listen to what Rebecca says here in a minute about her mouth. It's amazing.
They're not private meetings just for y'all three. If it was, then all you need to do is meet in the back room somewhere. We came here to learn or be able to ask the question if we need to. So that's what I wanted to know. And I also wanted to know all the fines that you waived today. Do you have a total of what that came to if you had collected them?
I do not have a total for that.
You don't.
Why would you not have a total of the amount?
They already knew what they were going to do.
Yeah.
But this is because, and I'm going to tell you people something. This is complete laziness and incompetence combined in one. Linda is not fit to do the job, nor is Heather Bailey, nor is, I can't even remember the knucklehead who sits right behind Linda over here, who follows her around and makes everybody sign a clipboard. I can't even remember her name. I mean, the people, and honestly, it's our fault that we accept such incompetence. I mean, and I can't blame the voters and say we voted this in here, because what we've seen in Madison County, those machines are not secure. They're never going to be secure. So I just want the people to understand that this is completely unacceptable. And I'm sorry that I couldn't be there with Miss Crooms, because I certainly would have got up that podium and said some things myself. But and this is what Michelle Daniels does. She sticks her head down in the sand. Nobody around here matters. And she's just going to let you say what you need to say. And then you're just going to sit down. And as long as she gives you the silent treatment, she wins.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and you cannot win if more people go to that podium. They can't keep winning. And we haven't even touched the tipberg of what this team is capable of doing now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's atrocious.
I want to this has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now, but I do have to issue this breaking news. I just got a response back from the attorney representing Mr. Curtis D. Anderson, and Mr. Anderson did post bond at 3 p.m. today, so he is officially out of jail on bond, and is a free man.
But at least he has a tracking device. You come over here and you're an elected official and molest children, you get to run wild with no tracking device. So Madison County got you people beat.
Now listen, he would have probably cut that device off, Sumner. He was planning to run. So it's only as good as if you're going to wear it. You know, if you're not going to wear it, it don't do you any good. But at least you would have known the moment that it was cut. You would have known when you know what I mean. So it would have given you that little bit of heads up. But I just wanted to give you that brief. I literally just got that as we're talking. He just messaged me.
Well, let's listen to their response.
Okay. Well, yeah. Listen to what they say to Rebecca.
Do you have any idea how much you weighed today?
I do not have an idea.
Okay. Do not have any idea.
So she should never get new money requests ever.
Yeah.
This is for many of these people, just like the file that we have. It was a file that was before I came into office. And
it took her 3 years to get on it?
Heather went through it, and then it was determined, we need to finish up these committees and make sure that they understand this is what you have to do when you have to run for office.
Well, I understand that, and I'm glad you did that, because it sets a precedence. Because I know when I first started running for office, you may not have been here then, but wasn't no grace. You got fined, you got punished, you got put in the paper. But I see you doing it a little bit different, so I appreciate that.
My thinking on that is unless it's intentional,
right.
Why let the other fine against the fine?
What is he? Why is he speaking?
I'm just,
Russ was intentional and he didn't get fined.
Yeah.
We wanted people to come to compliance. And that's what's happening.
well, I understand that. I just want to make sure everybody get treated fairly, because I know some people have gotten fined over the years and there wasn't much grace in here. But that's all I wanted to know. Yes. Can you speak up? Because I can bear. Maybe you can't understand how it just sounds like you just move your mouth.
It just sounds like you're just. It just sounds like you're just moving your mouth. I heard that. I about pissed myself. I love Rebecca, dude. She's just willing to say it. Maybe I can't. Maybe you can understand what you're saying, but I can't hear you. It sounds like you're just moving your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I can't believe
needed to be said.
I love Rebecca.
You can barely hear you. Well, do you have a mic up there? The same one, Linda? Well, yours is on. The speaker is yours different than hers?
It's the same.
Well, I can hear you.
I'll have you check.
Well, thank you.
I'm gonna read you something that, sent to me here.
Who sent it to you? The state, I mean, what office? Out of the
I
election?
talked to, his name is Brad King. He's
Yeah,
a-
I know who he is.
So I was looking at some things, and it says about election board, it says their duties are often described as mandatory, meaning they are required to carry out specific legally defined tasks without discretion. Because their actions are dictated by existing laws, election board decisions are not typically subject to public policy debate or comment. Allowing extensive public comment on mandatory legal procedures can potentially allow for unlawful interference. Less common to have a general public comment period, as many of their duties are legally prescribed. And that's what I was trying to say to Jeff. You know, I'm like, I've given Heather my phone number, she knows my email. If somebody didn't understand something, they can contact me and I will talk to them, not as a board, but as an individual. But sometimes, and this is what they said, it gets into a back and forth, and they said they didn't really do that in the setting. Now, does that mean you're never gonna give comment? No. But depending upon what is on the agenda that day, if it's very specific, comment may not be needed. And that's why I think the law said that there's not a reason to have comment. So it's gonna depend upon the meeting, it's gonna depend upon what we have in front of us, and, for instance, I'll tell you what would be great for public comment. We're gonna be starting to talk about locations of voting sites. I think that's good to have public comment there, because I know we had a site once that we had a construction going on next door, and there was no parking, we didn't know this construction was going on, and I felt like that was, we could have found a better place, right? So those kind of things, if someone can inform us of that, I'm all for that. But, sometimes, you know, it's just, it's a little, I would call it in the weeds, and I don't think they come away, and I don't think we come away, and I think sometimes it's better if you have something. You know, let's put a complaint.
Joe.
And, you know, write something up that says, hey, could you please address this?
I understand what you're saying, but I want you to understand what I'm saying as a taxpayer. And I'm just saying that's what I personally would like to see. Not a debate or not anyone interfere with your official legal duties, but at least let you know as a board and then as an elected official, I value you taxpayer. I value our government system of transparency and openness. And if you have something you need to say or ask, but I'm just telling you, me as a voter and as a taxpayer, what I would like to see. But of course, it's in your hands. You can do what you like.
I had a telephone call last night. Someone had said that we were up in the clerk's office having a forum, some sort of forum, and we were forum. I don't know where they got that. No one was in the clerk's office upstairs. I said, I don't know if this, I don't do something on social media.
Well, I understand that,
But
right.
I'm saying, if there's ever a question, they had to call me. They said, hey, and I said, no, of course not. That didn't happen.
Well, the way you came off just now is that you'll say there'll be times that you will take questions or you'll see a need. So that will be in your authority. You will decide when we will get to speak. But what I'm saying as an outsider, as a voter, as from looking on the outside in, I would like to see that comment available regardless of whether you think it's worthy or
And I
not.
appreciate that. And
Right.
we do that way, that we decide the agenda every day, we need a comment. But I'm talking to Brad King and talking to other election boards, because I didn't realize that not many election boards take comment.
Well, I'm not concerned with what everybody else is doing. I'm concerned about you.
Well, look, I don't know what she's saying. Not very many. She said something out of 92. I don't know how many she said out of 92. I will tell you that let's go through this. I've done this before. Let's do it. Delaware County, Madison County, Randolph County, 1, 2, 3, Henry County, Wayne County, Marion County, and Portland. I've been through at least 8 or 9 county election board meetings at various points in my life throughout East Central Indiana, including the one in Marion County at the state at the city county level in Marion County, and I've been through their state level thing. And those bodies, those 8 or 9, plus the 10th being the state, all have taken comment. And they've all issued and had agendas. So when she says, I don't know if she's saying like whatever, but that's, let's say 10. Let's just say 10. Round it up to 10. That means there's 82 that's not
saying anything
to
inflate and de-escalate the situation. If we asked her to provide to us,
cite those for me.
Able to provide, I mean, she's not ever, just like they always want us to throw Brad King. If you guys are so, so incompetent that you have to rely on Brad King, well, hell, give up your seat and bring him down. Because I bet you, if we had Brad King in front of us right now, he'd be like, "Well, that's not really what I said."
Yes.
These guys are speaking on behalf of somebody else. Now, Brad King's an attorney. People, you understand that he's at the state level. He's supposed to be this person, which I have not found anything of worth to this man. I've dealt with in the same with Wojciech. I have not had anything positive to say about these people when I have called there. They have been uneasy. They have been difficult to work with. They will do anything to protect the cabal. I have not had good luck with these people.
I can't. So in all fairness, I can't. I've had good luck with them, but the problem is,
well, great. On Monday, call down there and ask them about public comment and election.
Sure, I'm going to tell you what they're going to say. They're going to tell you what she just said. This is what you don't like about them. You don't like that they say there's nothing that we can do, and it ends at your county. That's what you don't like about them.
No, they don't even give you any guidance.
They can't. They can't.
I mean, so what's the purpose of even having these people?
Well, so in order for them to give the guidance to the elected officials and to the election officials there.
That's all it is.
I don't know this. I don't know this, because listen, they've given me lots of information that have helped me fight these people in different counties.
See, and they've never done that. All they're just like, it's just up to your elected officials. I mean, here's the thing. We clearly see we've got big problems. I mean, clearly, even when the Larry Savage case came up, right?
Sure.
You can see on video that the machines can be toyed with, and you don't see anybody from the state intervening. You don't see anybody. We've made
it's nothing from the state.
That's what I'm saying. I've sent complaints to them. I've done anything, and what do you get? Silence.
I know, because there's not a whole. So all they can tell you to do is to fight these people, and the bottom line comes down to unelecting the people that put these people
and
there.
That really is the bottom line, because you really are at the mercy of these people, and they know it. Michelle Daniels is cocky enough, and she knows it. She knows
it too.
She can do whatever she wants. She can subjectively tell you to sit down. She can do anything she wants to the people, and she doesn't give a rat's ass.
Absolutely. That's exactly correct.
And that is her mentality. She could care less. She is all about the power. She's all about the corruption being kept in that power. She's all about that you kiss the ring and you do as they say. She would tell me when Troy and I were running, you have to do what Russ says. You have to kneel to him. You have to kiss his ring. You have to get along with him. I don't know, but there will never be a time where Katherine Callahan will sell her soul to anyone. It is not for sale. Same for Rebecca Crooms. It is not for sale. If these people cannot do the right thing, and we want to continue to allow them to be able to manipulate votes and do what they want with finances and call whatever shots they want, well, that's fine. But I will tell you, I am not going anywhere until this gets a little more fair on the playing field.
Absolutely.
And we have a couple of clips to show you what I'm talking about with this election board once we're done here. And this
it's almost over. It's almost over.
They may not be running elections like y'all running them. I went all the way to Muncie to watch election, the testing of the machines. The same machines we don't have the same machines, and it was completely different. And that's the same thing. Well, that you don't do yours like they do theirs. So this thing about what they do, I'm talking about Madison County right here, where I pay taxes, where I live at, what I would like to see from this board. But you have the authority to do what you wish. But thank you for. Well, I will decide who I'll be voting on. In
Not trying to punish people or say, oh no, or have a meeting that we shouldn't have. Not at all. We are the most transparent. I've been.
That's your opinion, because I definitely don't agree with that. But I'm gonna sit down. All I'm saying is that's how I choose who I vote for, about how they feel about me, not about what's in these books or what everybody else is doing. So thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I love it. I love her.
And that's
Council, Michael Geringer from Adams Township. I have some suggestions that I think can help with some of the transparency, and this fine lady's excellent
Who's this talking?
her right.
this gentleman's just recently appeared. Geringer, I think, is the last name.
They fall in a category of
And he throws out some points that are valid.
integrity, and parts of integrity are consistency. So, for example, if someone approaches your mic, they should say who they are and where they are from. There should be preset, in my opinion, time limits of 3 minutes. And when those are going to be received, it can be in the middle, between each vote, however you decide. I remind each of you that the statutes are there. And I also remind you not to make this a political event, but each party has specifically in their mission transparency as an important factor.
Yeah,
So
Kate.
things like if they have questions about information, perhaps some way to identify to people that there is a process called a public records request that in my opinion, has been incredibly improved. But suggest you guys take a moment and really talk about those kind of efforts, because you could be opening the floodgates on something like that. And so anyway, those are my opinions, and thank you for hearing me.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so, is there anything else?
So they couldn't.
Oh, do we need to?
So they go
Hold
on.
on.
Because of the holiday schedule, I think I had mentioned maybe the board should make a decision on when we're gonna have a meeting. Because it's gonna be difficult in December.
Yeah, I suggest we go to, January.
So they've met each month all year long, but now it's going to be difficult for them to meet in December. Look, I understand that we have
here's the
two
thing.
days.
There was too many people who showed up. There was too many people who pushed back and spoke, i.e. just one. Rebecca Crooms was the biggest one, right?
Yeah.
So now we're going to wait. We're going to go back to the 48-hour notice that's stuck outside of the election board room so that nobody knows. I mean, if you go back and look, you can't find stuff on what they've been meeting every month. And I mean, you called it. Listen, for 2 days, Rebecca Crooms has been trying to call the election board. She just said, call me, reach out to me. Rebecca's been trying to call. They won't answer the phone.
Yeah.
They won't return phone calls. This is completely atrocious. Everything that comes out of Michelle Daniels' mouth is a lie. I want everybody to understand that right now. Like, I've known her for a while now. She will spin any of this, and she will do anything to make sure that she protects and kisses the ring. She is a huge Russ Willis person. Like Kelly Hewer, you should have seen them. So she came with Linda, Tuesday night. Linda needed money. She's there. She's going to defend Linda. She's going to make sure they get the money. She'll speak if she needs to. She's there for the support.
Who?
Michelle
Kelly?
Daniels.
Oh, Michelle.
And then Kelly Hewer is sitting right there with them. So the three of them are having tea together. Michelle Daniels is the one that will have the meetings, and she'll have it at her house, and she'll bring all these. Michelle Daniels is the person that they all call. And so what they do is they use her, then she calls and puts her tentacles out on how the others should vote. That's how they avoid the quorum. This is how this is all working.
Yeah.
Michelle has a lot of power in the county, right? But
Yeah.
what she doesn't have is respect.
Well, that's, yeah.
Because
Well,
we all see that, you know, what she does is nothing but keep the corruption rolling.
well,
So-
and I do want to offer up, you're talking about Tuesday night. Tuesday night was, of course, the Madison County Council meeting. And I just want to let everyone know, I think we talked about this a little bit that night. I had other things I was talking about, but I do want to let you guys know there was at least one, if not 1 to 3 different people who attempted to enter the Madison County Council meeting. So the meeting starts at 6 p.m. and it runs until it's over. Sometimes they're 45 minutes. Sometimes they're 2 hours. Sometimes they're 7 hours. It starts from gavel to gavel, and you don't know. The most important thing is, and they can't just arbitrarily make up these different times, the doors to that council meeting must, without there's no excuse, they must be open from gavel to gavel. They can't shut down 10 minutes early. They can't do like you do in high school when you pack up 10 minutes before the bell. They've got to be open from gavel to gavel. And at least 1, possibly 3 different individuals tried to enter the Madison County building to go to the Madison County Council on Tuesday night after the 6 p.m. gavel started. I would say it was, the later, the second half of the meeting, but they were unable to make entry. None of the security was sitting, and Beeman, that falls on Beeman. Beeman needs to keep his men there, ass in their seats. If there's an issue there, he needs to have at least 1 person at the door, and if they need to have security down there to arrest somebody or do something, he should have another person or 2 in there. But he has to have somebody at the door, and I don't care if it's him or who it is, but that door has to remain open at all times. That is an open door violation. Sure as I'm sitting here, if I can get in contact with those 3 people, I'm each going to have them file separate open door violation. That is a major problem. And that is just right in line with everything that we're talking about here. Having the meetings at 2 p.m., having meetings where you can't hear what anybody's saying, having meetings where they're not using the agendas, which they don't have to legally, but they've done it all this time. So it's kind of like, let's just, why are we reinventing the wheel here? We shouldn't just be changing all the shit midstream. So I've got a real problem with that. But yeah, okay. What?
And, the whole, video has to be asked for. There's lots of problems going on in Madison County. All we can do is continue to expose that and vote the people out. That's the thing. I know that people like to do early voting, but I would tell you in Madison County, I would not encourage early voting because I have a feeling that things are being kind of looked at differently. They know the numbers. They know what they need to do. We've had a lot of close races in the last 5 years in Madison County, some by 3 votes, some by 4, some by 20. And I'm just not real comfortable after what we've seen on full display. The one thing about Madison County is they don't even care. They will absolutely put it right in your face. And there's nothing, they are untouchable. We do not have a prosecutor's office that will do anything to hold them accountable. And like there's just no other way. Until we vote them out, nothing is going to change, but we have to have good candidates that are going to come in and do the right thing. And that's what becomes the problem.
Yes.
So I want to show, can you show, I sent you in your own messenger. Can you show these 2 clips here? The first one I want to show is, I was challenged
to me privately.
Yeah.
Which one?
Well, I think, let me make sure.
No.
Oh no, it's in the group one between you and Kate and I want to show everybody back in
which one? Is it
Madison County Connection?
I don't see. I know that, but what's the?
So okay, so
is it 12, 18, 24?
I want you to show the one that has me right there, and it's right above. It's the second one. It says 55 seconds on it. Yep.
Is it this one?
Yep. 55 seconds. Let's watch
No,
this.
I mean, okay. I don't know what that means, but you'll just have to show me. Tell me if it's this one. Is it this one?
Yeah, it should. Yeah. So this is
Okay.
55 seconds long.
I don't know that it's no. I don't see a time.
Okay, it's on mine.
Yeah, I guess it's this one right here. Okay. All right. So here we go.
Other than
It starts down.
I am not going to get into a debate other than say that it is the Indiana law that it must have two primaries to the party that you want to affiliate with. And that's why the challenge was filed. It's not a gender issue. The law was not written for specific genders or cultures or anything else.
No, it was actually written so people wouldn't party hop, but you keep signing off on all these Democrats so they can't.
I don't know who all these, as plural, is. We'll have to have that conversation another time. There is a provision for a waiver by the chairman, but there's not been one requested.
Because the chairman doesn't take the calls.
Okay, so now right underneath that is a grid. This is the same election year. This was in 2022.
Right underneath that.
Right underneath that in that same thread. And that is a grid. This grid clearly shows that Russ Willis signed off on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candidates, but challenged me for the same exact thing. And I'm going to say this. Those are all white people. Why was I the only one that was challenged? Why did he sign off on that? These were Democrats. The one on the very top has been a Democrat for over 40 some years, flipped over to Republican so he could win that seat up there. And Russ signed off because he didn't like who the Republican candidate who was run. So when this is just how corrupt Madison County truly is. Like, here is the grid. But again, you can't win until we vote out this nonsense. Now, we have somewhat of a win because we've gotten rid of Russ Willis on the surface, but his tentacles are still in the background. They're all in Kelly Hewer and Michelle Daniels. So we have to remove some of these other layers. That's the best I can say about that. But if you look at that, I was accurate. I'm showing right here and right then. And you, how can you argue that? If Russ doesn't answer the phone for me, I can't make him answer the phone, right?
Sure.
He knows exactly what he's doing. It's the same thing that these people are doing when Ms. Crooms was trying to call the election board for the last 2 days. She can't get any phone calls or any answers. And that's what they do in Madison County. They just ignore you, hoping that you'll just suffocate because they're not giving you any energy or they can't do the right thing. So I wanted to point that out. And then again, these are from Nicole, who's taken the time and spent many hours on this. There's one video right above that, Christopher.
Yes.
And this is, listen to this real quick. I don't think it's very long. It's 1 minute, 23 seconds. I know we've gone long, but I just want you to hear some of the crap.
All right, Mr. Not this one, right?
No.
Okay.
Here, I'll resend it to
No,
you.
no. I got it. It's the one right above that. Right?
So if you're planning on running, I show these things to you, one, because Linda Smith has got to go. There is, I don't know how to tell you people. She has got to be voted out. She is worthless as tits on a boar. There's no other way to put it. She's got to go.
Yeah. Yes. All right, here we go. Here it is.
Will get people to sit at their table. They'll collect them from them and give them to us or write a check from their own committee. And that would seem to me to be a convenience rather than writing 8 separate checks for $60 or $75. Just write one check from the committee. If this was to the level of violation that's been accused, over 50 years of people looking at these reports, something would have come out, I would think. As long as I can remember, I've seen events, as was mentioned, from Democrats and Republicans, that this was the report. They would have a salad luncheon, they would have a reception, and whatever the event was called, golf, whatever, in our case, it's Lincoln dinner, and present one amount. So maybe our error was doing it under an itemized page rather than an unitemized page, because the tickets have always been under $100. It will collect individually from the people for the tickets and then either turn those in to us, or they will write one from their campaign, depending on how people wrote the check. We have that the night of the event. People will come in and hand in 6, 7, 8 checks. Candidate.
I have to start with some other breaking news that I didn't also have on,
What's
on
this?
the.
I don't know.
Was that it?
Well, it shouldn't have been. Okay, so anyways, what happened here is Russ was getting money. You're supposed to itemize that out. Instead, he just put $15,000. Russ says in this, hey, I don't keep any records past 2 years.
Yeah.
And we'll put this better together. I don't keep records past 2 years. I only have 2 years worth. He swears under testimony that this information is factual, that this is his testimony. They come back because it's 5 years that we're questioning of Russ Willis. Lannon and Smith give him a free pass to turn in 5 years of records, and he was able to itemize every one of those. And he admits right here, I wasn't able to do this. Like, we just turned this in, and I don't keep the records. And it was part of that whole segment. And here we are. And they accepted it. That's how corrupt this is.
That's what's ridiculous.
There's nobody to go to say, Russ Willis just lied in the
You want me to tell you, if I was on that election board and I was sitting there listening in let's say September to Russ Willis say that, and then we came into the October meeting and he said that, I would have, from my seat on the election board, I would have been, whoa, wait. Last time we were here, you said you didn't have this, but now you've got this. Like, they don't even know. They don't remember. It's because they're not even paying attention. They're just going through the motions and doing what they're told to do, or doing what they think that they should do, doing what the plan is. They're not even keeping it. They don't even know that last time he came in, he said this versus what he's saying now, because it doesn't matter. He could come in and say, I lit the entire election room on fire. And they're going to be like, oh, okay, everything's good. They're not listening. They don't care. They're not there to do the actual will of the people and to do what is right or wrong. That's the problem.
The only time that they're in that position is when they don't want you in a seat.
Yep.
Then they will pull every stunt. They will
Yep.
The only way to get through this is to get more of us involved, more people like Dave Sargent, who goes in videos when as much as he can. Miss Crooms goes whenever she can. I go whenever I can. Nicole goes where. We're picking up steam. We're picking up more people, and we are holding more people accountable. Last night I am in front of the council at Lapel, and they are having a public comment because they're raising the utilities. I get up at the stand, and well, we all know how this works. 3 words don't even come out of my mouth, and Brian Robertson, the president of the council, is already telling me to be quiet. And he's trying to direct where we're going with this, and that I can only talk about the wastewater. And this is what and so finally I had to say to him, if you would be quiet long enough to allow me to speak, it's going to be about the wastewater.
They did the same thing to Bree a while back.
Yes.
Where they were telling her to shut up.
Yes.
And sit down. And then they actually, amazingly, apologized to her at the end of the meeting, because turns out what she was asking about, they basically told her to shut up and let them proceed with the
Right.
presentation, because what she was questioning would be covered. Well, then they got to the end of it and they were like, oh, well, we're sorry, it wasn't covered. You can
Yeah,
and it's just
but
like
they didn't apologize to me.
Oh,
and,
no.
And let me tell you what my complaint was. My complaint is that there
didn't.
was a PowerPoint presentation. Nothing was put up on the screen. Okay. These companies, these high-end companies came in and they had these PowerPoint presentations, and they gave one to each of the council members. And then they gave one to the town manager. Then they proceeded to talk about, well, this rate's going to increase here, this rate's going to increase here. And it's like a 3 to 5 year thing of rate increases. Oh, look at the pyramid, do all this, right? Now, again, some people are visual learners, right? And you should be able to take notes. They didn't give us anything. So when I got up to the podium, I said to them, I think all of you have forgotten who you work for and who this presentation is actually for. It's not for you people. It's for us, the public.
Yeah.
And none of you have given any of that paperwork to the people so we can follow along. No one's got anything up on a slideshow so that we can follow along. Now, we, the taxpayers, pay for these consultants come in. We, the taxpayers, pay you, the people who sit on these boards or who are elected. We pay you. We actually pay for the paper that this is probably printed on. You've got nothing for us to have as handouts. That's all of everything have screwed up. So as we're going through, people are trying to ask questions. And again, they're all over the place because nobody's got a paper to follow along on. And so I said, this is my point. Look at these people. They have no papers to follow along. I said, however, because somebody said, well, where can we find it? I said, well, on my Facebook posts, because I'm posting. They can't even post it on their website, right? So Lindsay Washmuth and her disgusting behavior, and she needs to go from that board. She is sitting there, and finally she raises the paper up and she says, well, here, and kind of throws it in front of her like if somebody wants it. I said, why don't you get up and hand it to somebody, or is that too much work? I mean, just the way that they treat the public. And here's the thing. Some people, I know you don't like my presentation. You don't like my delivery. Well, you know what? My delivery used to be really nice and it used to be really kind. And let me tell you something. It got me nowhere. Yeah. What it got me was a gavel. And now I refuse to be sent to my seat. I refuse to be silenced. Oh, you can do that. But we'll just take it to social media and we'll just make sure everybody gets to see how people are treated. Do not fear these people like that. You have the right to ask for handouts. We pay for these handouts.
Yeah.
You have the right to be heard.
You don't have to bow down and kowtow to your employees.
You know,
that's generally not how that works.
And that's what I said. You work for us.
Yeah.
In the future, bring us documents. And do you know, over to the side is the town manager?
Yes, Kate.
Scott Resky's wife, and she's our new town manager. You know, all she can say was, wow. Like the way I'm speaking to them is a wow. You as a town manager should have come prepared with sheets for the people. You're supposed to be serving us, but instead you guys are all serving each other. Do you know, this is even how more atrocious it was. So we're in this area under the redevelopment committee, right?
Yeah.
And they start that at 6 and they start having their meeting and they're going to go on about their meeting. They're done talking about that money, the TIF money or whatever, and then they adjourn. So then Chad Blake goes, we're going to have an executive meeting. Now, I want to remind everybody that the taxpayers are paying to rent this room. It is raining outside. It is foggy. It is cold outside. And Chad goes, so you people are going to have to wait outside and let us do our executive meeting. And then you can come back when this resumes.
God.
He's got 5 heads. So suddenly someone goes, no, we're just going to go over here to this other room. I said, that's probably a very good idea because Katherine was about ready to just lose her shit right here in the middle of this room, thinking you people are so lazy that you can't have an executive meeting for 15 minutes. Actually, you guys should have come at 5:30 and had that executive meeting. Then had the redevelopment meeting. And then, but clearly we've got a town manager who is a buffoon who can't even think about the proper order of how things should be doing. Her job is to be managing these people. Her job is to be managing that town. And as far as what I have seen, the only thing that she manages is how to say yes and kneel down to these people. She is not here for the people. It's one of those things. All of this ties together. At the end of the day, we have to release ourselves from recycling trash. And that's the best I can say it, because they've not done anything that has built up the community. Look around Madison County. We have nothing to show for it. Nothing. And and all this money, this ARPA money, last week, Christopher, Commissioner Richwine suddenly shut down a bridge over in Alexandria. And he said with Jessica Buffoon, and they say that the reason why they had to shut down this bridge is because it's not stable and it's weakening and it could collapse as people are driving over it, because there's been a 2-week flood over there. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think 2 weeks of flooding is going to erode that bridge so quickly. And here's the other news flash. That flooding didn't come from God. It's because there was a pipe broke and nobody went over there.
I was going to say, it's not been raining. So where's the flood come from?
Help me out. So you're allowing people to destroy our property. Well, here's a news flash. If that was Alexandria City Water, they need to take that out of their budget to fix that bridge, because they should have turned that water off. If this is truly what he believes has happened to that bridge, that water leak caused this, then great, because they didn't address that for 2 weeks. He can penalize those elected incompetent officials. That's how I look at it. Don't take it from me, the taxpayer, right? So these are the kind of things that you continue to see here in Madison County that we've got to push back a little bit and have some accountability around here, because things are just spiraling out of control. And it comes down to, if we elect people who are not qualified for a seat, this is what we're going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, and Rainwater used to say it the best, like, you keep, how did he say it? If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you get.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and that's the same thing. You keep recycling, people who don't show up for work. You keep electing people who don't ever sign the front of the check. They only sign the back of the check. Then they're never going to work for us.
Yeah.
They're never going to do what's right.
Absolutely. That's very true.
And so those are things. I mean, this has been a wild week in politics in Madison County. Now, I know that we've kind of moved away from the election board, but there's one last thing for the people. I know. There's one last thing for the people who are watching this, and I want people to understand this small part. I want you to understand a bond. Last night, LaPel said, we just need a $2 million bond to start this project. Okay. And they said, well, the bond may go from 20 to 30 years. Then they said, on this bond, we think we can get it in the, somewhere in the mid to upper 2% range, this bond. So I want people to understand, if you live in LaPel, they need a $40 million bond to do the whole water thing. This $2 million is just to do all the plans and everything. Okay. If they take this $2 million bond, they have to have, and this is the part that I'm a little sticky on, Christopher. I think they have to have enough collateral in order to get a certain percentage. So the more collateral you have, the better percentage you get. Those kind of things, right? Mm-hmm. And LaPel is broke. I'll tell you guys all this right now. So what happened is I got up there and I said, okay, fine. So you want a $2 million bond. You're going to take it at 3% just to make numbers easy. We're going to take it at 3%. That means we will pay like $60,000 a year per se in interest. If we do a 30-year bond, that's like $1.8 million.
Yes.
That the taxpayers will pay back. I want people from Madison County who are paying attention right now. I need you to understand this. If you live in Elwood, Alexandria, LaPel, these different municipalities, on top of the bonds that the people are taking out, Elwood's taking out a $500 million bond, a $5 million bond. $5 million bond to redo their municipality building or something. I don't know. That's not even very old. All these people are taking these bonds. Okay. So again, back to LaPel. So we've got this bond. They're still going to need a $40 million bond. Now, on Tuesday, they need a $10 million bond to expand the $115 million bond they took on the jail.
You're talking about Madison County. You're losing
Madison
people because
County.
you're talking about 3 different areas. So you got to.
Madison County, right?
Okay.
So now they want to expand the jail, so they need another $10 million bond on top of the $150
Madison County.
million,
Yes.
right? Madison County.
Okay.
So if you are a lucky resident of LaPel, you are going to get to pay bond money in LaPel and bond money in the county.
Now that I mean,
I get that.
That sucks because I mean that's just a luck draw of where you live. I mean, I guess if you want to pay the fewest amount of taxes possible, you should live in the unincorporated county.
Yes.
Anywhere.
But I think, and so I try to tell people these bonds are kind of like credit cards. If you don't pay them off pretty quickly,
right,
you're going to get sucked into a lot of interest.
Yes.
Okay. So, that's the whole thing. Like that $10 million bond, if, you're paying $300,000 a year on that. Now, I want you to know that the officials wanted to correct me, which in a little ways they were correct. They said, no, it's more like a mortgage. You have an amortization with that. So it kind of goes down just a little. Listen, people, I don't care how you want to lessen the blow. The taxpayers are still getting screwed at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Yeah, it's whatever you want to liken it to. Yeah, that's correct. At the end of the line, it's still a screw-in that the people are going to get. So yeah, right. Like they literally corrected you on that.
Oh, yeah. You should watch the
That's
LaPel
hilarious.
meeting.
I'll go back and watch it.
Yeah, it wasn't just a small part of correction. Like they went on because at one point it got to Katherine, and I would go Brian, and he's the president, and then Shuck would go Katherine, and I'd go Shuck.
Shuck? Is there someone named Shuck?
Gary Shuck, yeah. And
Okay.
so it was it was off the chain.
Jesus.
And so I just want people to understand some of these little innuendos that are going on out here. There's a lot of moving parts. Run for office, get involved, show up at meetings, because people are asking me, how do we stop this? What can we do? Share our information, share our shows, make a clip, put it out there. I mean, whatever it's going to take. I'm not going to be offended if you make a clip. I'm not even going to be offended if you make a clip and you feel like you're going to spin it to your advantage and make fun of me, because you know why? There's so many people out there right now that watch the two of us that they're like, but they tell the truth. I mean, so those are the kind of things that I want everybody to understand. Exactly right. Stop paying to be abused. You're exactly right. And quit allowing these elected officials to gaslight you and make you feel like they're the victim.
Well, yeah, right.
If you're doing a good job, nobody's going to be worried about you. Right?
Right. That's very correct.
I mean, there you go, right there. Like Alva says, Indiana also has the 6th highest tax on gasoline at the pumps on the 50 states. Just thought he would share that. Well, here's the thing. Did anybody see Braun's post today? Braun says that Indiana is going to be one of the lowest people to pay for Thanksgiving. Like our groceries are lower than most of, I don't know where he's shopping, but I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, I'll wait and see. That's comical. That he's an idiot.
Yeah. So
that's also the man that takes a helicopter to work.
Yeah, these smoke and mirrors that these people want to continue to share with us and gaslight us with, you gotta stop. You got to stop accepting this. You got to stop drinking the Kool-Aid, because you're going to be just like that grape Kool-Aid over there, but you're just not going to have a house to die in, because they're going to own it on the property assessments.
That's exactly true.
If anybody watched my live video with Nicole after the county council meeting, there was a vehicle. We really should show that.
No, we got to get into that next time. We got to go.
I want you to know that vehicle has now been moved.
Where do they move it to? You don't know where it's been moved to?
That's the power of the people.
That's pretty crazy. That what office was it from?
The assessor's office. That's why your property assessments are so high and your taxes are so high, because a busted out window that was done to this vehicle was just left over in the county parking lot. It's been there. Now they're saying it's been there since April.
Who said it's been there since April?
because now people are coming and defending it, saying that the damage from that truck is from the tornado. That tornado was back in April.
April, what tornado? I thought that was from 2024. That was our tornado. You guys had a tornado in April?
Yeah.
Over there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so it's been sitting over there since then. So snow has been able to get in there. So they had a bunch of boxes in there, and I couldn't help myself. I said, there are probably ballots in there.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. They get out after the council meeting. They've got this vehicle that they see in. This is county parking, right?
Don't know. You can't touch.
Is this county parking?
Yeah, this is county parking lot.
All right, here the comment comes.
Should be entering private property. We can't touch that. So probably ballots. Probably ballots. What do you think of the ballots? Maybe there's a voter machine in there. What do you think? I don't know.
This machine, this vehicle, it's a municipal plate. Got a municipal plate on it. It's got a busted out window sitting over here. Just right downtown Anderson where anybody could get inside this thing. It's just sitting there getting ruined.
Who does this belong
And then here's who it belongs to. It shows right here.
Oh.
Wah, wah, wah. Who's the assessor over there?
Larry Davis.
Larry Davis is the assessor.
So it was moved this afternoon around
They
noon,
moved it this afternoon.
even though it's been raining for 2 days.
It's been so nasty.
So there was leaves in there. I mean, it was just, and it's right in downtown. I mean, like a homeless person could crawl in there.
Oh, yeah, they could have been living in there.
That could be somebody's property assessment taxes in there. Who knows what was in those boxes? So it is what it is. But it was a good time. I always appreciate all these people who have stayed with us tonight. Good night, Alva. And I just enjoy talking with you guys, educating all of you. And this is.
They should have. They should have just let it. They should have just let it go and just let it do its thing. I don't know. That's crazy.
Just the power of the people. And I just
absolutely.
I want everybody to know somebody owes me a steak dinner, and I can't tell you who it is because they said you'll never get that moved. I said, I guarantee you they're going to move that vehicle. And there it is. Yes. A win for the people.
That's hilarious. Well,
I mean, does it really take that long for insurance to come up with a claim so they can
no
the vehicle?
No.
And that's my whole problem with this. I'm calling bull crap on it.
Yeah, there's no way in hell. That's a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
There is no way that thing took that long to do that. That's nuts. There's just absolutely no way. So, all right. Well, Katherine, as always, it's been fun. It's been fantastic.
And I enjoy spending my Friday nights here.
A great Friday night with everybody. It's been wonderful.
I hope whoever is in lapel won the lottery.
Oh yeah, dude, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. And if they want to give us some money here to make things better here, we look, we don't ask anybody for money. I am still trying to get that about a $5,000 camera with the mic that I need. So remember, everybody, if you want to chip in on that. No, I don't ask that. I mean, no, excuse me. I said it the wrong way. Remember, lottery winner of lapel, if you want to chip in. I don't ask the audience for money, but if you just won what is it? $341 million from lapel?
341.
Huh?
Wasn't it 341,000?
341,000. Yeah, I'm asking that person for money. So if you want to chip in, lapel lottery winner, don't tell anybody but me. Get an attorney and get a hold of me, and I'll tell you what I need to do to get that camera. So other than that, thank you, Katherine.
Attorney, I recommend Russ Cake.
Yeah, right. We'll help you out with the attorney, so we'll get you taken care of. Yeah. All right, thank you, Katherine. Stick around, and I'll be right back with you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us tonight. This has been the special Friday night show. We've covered a lot of information. I do want to tell Admiral Eric, if he is here, I saw your comment. I think Kate started. Yeah, it's this one right here. They had a lockout at the Henry County Planning Commission meeting. Over 100 people were counted standing outside. We are going to hopefully talk about that on Sunday. We're going to talk about a couple things related to that. Might have some Sproles information. So just stand by, wait for Saturday. We obviously will not be here tomorrow, but the way things are going politically right now, shit's hitting the fan. So we will not be here tomorrow night, but if you want to stay informed on what's going on, then you're going to want to remember to check out my social media. Make sure to do that. Hit us up on the social media. You can always find us on Facebook and find us on Twitter. I've been doing a lot of shit on Twitter, so you can find us there as always. My Facebook page is facebook.com/Bilbrey318. The Political Spotlight Facebook page is facebook.com/Political Spotlight 318. And then the X account is x.com/Bilbrey Live. So be sure to check us out there. And then we will see you back here. When will we see you? We'll see you back here Sunday night at 9 p.m. As always, and we'll look forward to seeing you. So please be sure to tune in, and we will see you there. Have a great weekend. God bless each and every one of you, and we'll see you Sunday night. Goodbye. Oops, shit. Goodbye.
Headed north along the lake, the ground is full of junkin' shapes. You felt it too. I know you'll go. Alright. Campus kids, they flood the streets. Entitled thoughts from perfect teeth. I felt it too. I know it's true.